On today's video, we're going to be talking about what's happened to me throughout my life story.
It's my lucky day. It's my lucky day. It's my lucky day.
So you know the phrase, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade? Well, I've had to make a lot of lemonade throughout my life, and I'm not ashamed of it. It is what it is. It's just always been what's happening. So I just have learned to roll with the punches. And when I was 6, I was diagnosed with a disease called Charcot-Marie Tooth disease. And CMT is basically just a disease that affects the peripheral nerves of your body. So like your arms and your legs and your knees and your ears even sometimes. Peripheral just means that it's on the outside. So like the outside nerves of your body is what that means. CMT was such an important part of my life for so many years, because it was what I thought I was living with. Well, fast forward to like 2018, and I was found out that I don't in fact have CMT. What I have is called POLG, and it is a mitochondrial disease that affects many parts of my body, not just my nerves. And it's just hereditary, and it's gonna get worse, and it's just I've had to learn to accept it. But that in-between point, I just was rolling with the punches, and just having CMT brought a lot of different surgeries, and surgeries that I had to adjust to. And I had surgery when I was 10, and then I had another surgery when I was a freshman in high school. And both those surgeries, we later found out, after we found out about the POLG, that those surgeries probably did more harm than they did good. Not because of the surgery, but because of being under anesthesia. Anesthesia is such a big contributing factor as to how my POLG came to be. And when I was 5, I had my tonsils out, and we think when I was 5, because a year after I turned 5, I was running on the beach, and that's when we figured out that a couple months after that, that's when we figured out I had CMT. And I would have surgery, and then a year later or a couple months later, something else would happen. So that's just that was what it always was. My parents and I just kind of rolled with it. But we later found out that the reason for that is because of my mitochondrial disease. And mito is such a rare disease that I was diagnosed with CMT in 2004 or 5, and POLG wasn't discovered till a year later. So I never could have been diagnosed in the first place. And POLG it's such an important part of me now. But CMT will never not be an important part of me. I have so many friends through CMT. I have formed so many bonds, and CMT has been such a blessing to me that it will never not be part of who I am. I may not have it, but it's always going to be there, and I'm super thankful and blessed for that. With that being said, back to the mito disease. So these past couple years since finding that out about the POLG, have been kind of crazy and not your average couple years. I've been through a lot, and I graduated college, and then I found out about the POLG, and then I went in to have an infusion, and it just went severely wrong, not in a bad way, just in a different kind of way. And I got admitted to the hospital, and then things have been not your norm for me these past couple years. So, and then that was last October, I guess. And then this past December, I broke my arm and had to have emergency surgery, and just go through things like that. And it's not the battle that broke me down, it's how I dealt with it, I guess, is what I will say. Because I've been through a lot, but it's how you deal with everything that you go through. And my parents raised me well to be under the belief that everything happens for a reason, and it always could be worse, literally. Like, I wake up and thank God all the time that I don't have it worse, because in reality, I have it pretty bad, but it's not the worst that it could be. And I'm completely okay with that. I've learned to accept it and move on. My great-grandmother always used to say, babe, God wouldn't give you what you can't handle. And I am a full believer that God would not give me what I can't handle. She said those words a lot to me, and then she passed, and my mom just started saying that. And I am a true believer in that. It truly takes a lot for me to realize that I have what it takes to just roll with the punches. And have gone through what I've gone through these past couple years, I had to accept and realize that God wouldn't give me anything I can't handle in every way possible. It took a lot for me and to realize that, but I finally got there. And don't get me wrong, I still do have my moments and freak out and lose it, but they're not as common anymore. And life can be really difficult, but it's all about how you handle it and deal with it. And that has made such an impact on me these past couple years. So I want to thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.
It's my lucky day.